I'm KB with Nerdophiles. How are you both?
Doing good. How about you?
And thanks.
Doing well, doing well. So I will just go ahead and dive right in. I'm really digging the direction that this season went in. And so I will go ahead and start with you, Tiffany. So, I found that there were a lot of twists and a lot of turns. So how does Roxy's relationship with Sister Harriet change after the trust is broken this season? And can they really get back to kind of that family, that sisterhood that they had previously? Because I found that Roxy was really only vulnerable and transparent with like a handful of people, and Sister Harriet was one of them.
Yeah, I don't know that they can. Like I feel like Roxy's one of those people. In season one, they did not get along. Harriet and Roxy were not cool. And I think what we were thinking is like in the time that's passed and they were in Europe, they created this bond, right? Like she let her in. And when I think when Roxy feels really betrayed like that, it's hard to get back in her good graces. Oddly enough, she will forgive Joe.
Right, I was about to say, now hold on. I was just about to say, like, wait a minute.
Love is blind. What can I say?
Right. Different.
Right.
Deep connection where from the moment, I think the moment they met, they clicked. And she already had to really step out of herself to like Harriet. So it's like, when somebody like gets over on you and you're like, oh, you're not gonna get me again. I think that's kind of how she's feeling.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think she even says, like, dang, against my better judgment, I went ahead and was like,
Right.
Harriet, we're gonna be vulnerable. I'm gonna let you be around my child. I'm gonna let you know who I am fully.
Right.
But it doesn't turn out the way she hoped. But
No.
here goes Joe. And to your point, she is willing to forgive Joe in every single scenario. But for you, Louis, this season, like Joe's storyline was really sad for me. It was quite heartbreaking, I will say. So talk a little bit about kind of how Joe's, I'm gonna put this in quotes, reunion with his Hunter's family, how that complicates things, for the rest of the season.
It's so ephemeral, it happens so late in the season. And it's, especially with Joe and Roxy, there's just a split moment of connection, which feels like an eternity, and it's the turning point for Joe. He really starts to kind of break out, and you see the real Joe start to kind of kick back in after this entire season of him being kind of this monster. And so I that I'm sorry, there's a garbage truck outside. That's that was the moment for me, actually, that connection. And I think it's a process. I think where it leaves off, Joe's not, okay yet. He's working towards a goal of being a kind of normal human being again, but it's gonna be a long road.
Well, listen, I think that this season is really, really great. From what I've seen thus far, I've only seen the first four, but I have really, really enjoyed, kind of all of the twists and the turns and the layers. And I think that you all did a really, really wonderful job. So just thank you so much for chatting with Nerdophiles. Really appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thanks.